90 degrees. It's just before 2 o'clock. My clocks are always 10 minutes fast, so I'm never late. But I have today, and I had the idea to go put out trail cameras. Time to reset the Cuddelinks. I'm on my way right now to a spot that I have by my wife's place of work where I've had a Cuddelink out since last year. I'm gonna go pull that camera system and I'm gonna move it behind my house, try to monitor that. But then I got fresh batteries and my other cameras, and I'm gonna run those out to the main property I hunt and get those set up. Do yourself a favor, check out the Real Shot. I highly recommend the Cuddelink system from Cuddeback. I've had Cuddebacks for years. Absolutely loved them. Their customer service is great. And I've been very, very, very happy with the Cuddelink system. So happy with it that I'm talking about, I have 2 different systems. So get a cell system. The Cuddelink, 1 home camera, 1 cell camera, up to 24 different cameras off of 1 system. 1 simple cell plan. That's the other thing as well. Run 24 cameras off of 1 cell plan instead of having multiple plans per camera. It is an absolute no-brainer. So look at this little guy. He knows what time of the year it is. Little doe. That's the other thing too, is getting fawns. There's a lot of pictures of fawns right now. I saw a doe the other day with twins. I saw 2 does, 2 mamas with their babies. So that's cool. Get the fawn pictures, start getting inventory of what your bucks maybe made it through, watch their antler development, kind of start basing an early summer pattern that can in turn maybe lead to an early season's harvest. Get yourself a Cuddelink cell system. Utilize the cell plan so you don't go into your area and you're gonna save yourself some money, right? In the days before when gas was reasonably priced, you weren't too worried about it. But now with things so astronomically high, invest in the Cuddelink cell system. I will put the link on this video to the Real Shot website. If you have any questions, get a hold of myself or get a hold of Mike Williams at the Real Shot. So much knowledge, so easy to set up. It is an absolute no-brainer. Here's the deal. Just got to the first property, and you can see I put a long sleeve shirt on. This is a Blackfish shirt. Actually breathes really, really well. But here's the other thing. You got to dope up this time of year. Like, biggest area for me, spraying around my pants. Both areas to keep the ticks off. I'm just gonna coat my legs, coat me. This is the bend stuff. All right, we're walking up to the first camera. This is a remote cam. Now look at how low this is. Pay attention to that. Right now, that is not ideal height. But before all this little brush, this fern brush and stuff grew up, that was the perfect height. So we're just gonna turn this one off. See, I already took a picture. So we're just gonna confirm, turn it off. There we go. And you can see, here's the trail. Right here, there's another one over here. But I believe this is the one with the big scrape on it. Kind of seeing the grass here. I actually had my dripper on it yet. I forgot I did. Here's my dripper. Scrape right here. Comes out of this marsh ground. I'm gonna pull this scrape dripper. There's a good trail. Go pull that camera and go over to the next spot, which is about 500 yards that way. All right, so we're gonna pull this trail cam real quick. We got the scrape dripper. These things are awesome. I had it up since last winter, trying to maybe do some late season hunting. But anyways, here's the deal. This battery booster is the bee's knees. You have to have one of these. It's a no-brainer. If you're investing the money in a nice camera, which these cameras aren't that expensive nowadays, this is the better of the two. I think it's the G series. Super simple to use, but get the battery booster. It runs off of 6 Ds. I think they've actually redone it for this year. The camera itself has 4 Ds in it, but if you hook this up properly, You'll pull these batteries first before you pull these internal batteries. Once these batteries kick the bucket, which, I mean, hot weather like this, if it's not taking a ton of pictures, not really working hard to send it, you'll get, geez, I can't remember. I think I almost got 6 months at least before things really started going wacky on the battery booster. Then you have the 4Ds in the back. Here's the tip though. When you set this up, you pull a battery out of your camera and then plug the cord in. The camera will charge up and will start running. Then you just put the battery back in here. What that does is that lets it know that it should pull here first before pulling here. Once you do that, you're good to go. Just so I don't sweat up the camera a ton. Just gonna put these gloves on. You can see there's pine sap all over them. Chainsaw, gas probably. I'm not too worried about that. But so lift up here, give myself a slack, unclip it. That's that. So this spot I thought was kind of cool. There's a road here, then there's another little hidden road. That's back in here. Good trail right here. Another little hidden road. Access is what really makes this property tough. There's a river. There goes a deer. Deer just running. But I was saying access makes this really tough because, again, everything is this way. And trying to get back in there is tough. I felt like I was gonna blow a lot of deer out trying to get into the spot. And because you can no longer bait in Wisconsin, you can't really bring the deer out. But a cool situation is you can kind of see right back there's an oak. And that starts some high ground, but then there's a marsh ground that kind of continues. I remember the property I just was on is over this way, about 500 yards. But that marsh kind of continues through. You can see the low ground with the deer tracks in it. This deer trail runs through. Just about waist height setup. But I was getting a lot of brush pictures again because everything was getting tall. So when I reset them up, same thing, waist height. But I'm gonna make sure I clear brush that way. All right, let's get this one pulled. Get out of here. Battery level okay. Confirm. Like I said, these cameras, these were out. Had to be in December of last year I put them out. And they're still good. But again, important, especially on your cells. On your cells, run that battery booster because this is the thing that's doing all the work. It's sending the pictures, it's taking pictures. This thing is doing all the work. So if you can afford it on your remotes, afford one at least on your cells or your home cameras, because this is the one, if it's a cell camera, this right here is doing all the absolute work. I like to tie up my straps so they're not floating in the wind. Loosen it up a touch. Fits in there nice and compact. We'll probably end up burning these batteries out of this one since it's behind my house and access is not going to be hard. But the ones I'm putting about 45 miles or minutes away from my house, I got fresh batteries for them. Rayovac is what they recommend. It's velvet season. Get these cameras out now, less disturbance. Start monitoring your deer herd, start looking at fawns, check your doe health. The other thing too is we're all looking for antlers this time of year. Start narrowing down some of those travel corridors, put them in high traffic areas so you don't have to go back in there, narrow it down. Okay. Now here's a tip. You don't want to set your camera up where it looks either west or east, right? Because that'll look into the sun either direction, in morning or evening. So what I did, I have it hung up on this 8-foot fence that separates my property from the neighbors. Now I'm a little nervous about that because they could access it from that side of the fence if they really want to. but that faces south. So the other thing too that's nice about it is I can cover this plot. Now this is an old clover plot. It definitely needs to be redone. But this is a micro plot here. I got a ladder stand right here where my son shot his nice buck from. But it's a natural funnel. This is an awesome spot. I got a lot of plans for this spot to be bedding with a little bit of food back here. But anyways, got the cell camera set up here facing south. It kind of overlooks this plot. This is the travel corridor. The deer come down the trail I have cut here. They come out there, or they cut out from this corner where that buck came out, and they head to the neighbors. They'll go through the pasture too, that's behind me. But again, set up here, about waist height on this fence post, just to cover some of the movement. And as I put the GoPro up, that's the angle that this camera is going to see. Now you can see in that oak tree, I got a scrape rope hanging there, but then there's another trail here that goes to another micro plot there, or they'll walk along where I had to build a fence to try to keep the sheep out. But let's talk about what I got right here. Scrape rope, hemp rope. One of the customers at the reel shop made this for me. Dale did. I haven't really had a whole lot of success with this, but I just hung it last year. And here's the other tip I did. This oak had a lot of low hanging branches. There's still a couple left, but I limbed it up last year. You can still see some of the brush. And then I took some of the brush, piled it there, and I piled it there to help narrow those deer's travel route coming through these little Scotch pine right here. And then there was another little oak right there that I took out. That was in the hindrance of a shooting lane, so I cut that guy out this winter. You can still see. But scrape tree, about 15 yards from the stand. So here's the secret. Now let me find it. It's good to know, friends. I have my Wags intruder buck. I have some leftover Wags from last year. Per Nick's suggestions, I froze it. And he said the thing about it that's great is by freezing it, it kind of knocks down that dominance that's in this, and it's just deer pee at this point. So we're gonna get a mock scrape started right here. Just to get some of that old deer urine out of there, help it flow a lot nicer. But I didn't do it. So take the intruder buck over here, tie it to the loop, try to hold it tight. Fresh dirt, deer will smell that. Soak this rope. Get some of my scent. We gotta wrap this up. We gotta get to the other property tonight. Hang those other cameras up. Doctor up a scrape over there or two with some Wags, intruder buck. See what we can do. We are at the other property. You can see behind me, this is the creek. It's a narrow strip of woods. I don't know, 40 yards wide at the widest. It runs into another block of timber down there. We got an old farrow field on this side. We got a egg field on that side. You can kind of just see, we did sit in that gun stand quite a few times last year. That's where NBC 26 was with me. But then that feeds into the bigger block of woods. That's this way. And this is the last known spot that I had trail cam pics of the Big 9. I used to have the cell camera set up on this tree, but it died over winter, and there's a lot of ants. So now it's right there. Let's see if I can see it. It's hard to see, but it's right there on the bank, facing back here. We got a scrape vine right here. Most of the travel corridor is on that side. There is a narrow trail that runs along this side right here and goes in. There's a little block of woods right over here that I cannot hunt. And then you can kind of see through here, there's a fence line. The net separates the neighbor's property. The majority of the stuff that we hunt is all this way. This is the access road. It washed out a long time ago. So basically if I park, I gotta stop my truck right there, and then it goes out. And this is all farrow field right here. This is a big old bedding area right now. Cell cam set up down there. overlooking this spot. Fresh set of batteries in it. Now, here's the only thing we got to do. Doctor it up. Mosquitoes are horrible down here. Really thankful for the bends. But if you look right there, cell cam. Actually, I have a hawk on this one from my buck last year. Still see there's some juice left in this one. But we're just gonna doctor this up. You can see there's a lot of coon tracks on the bank, but they're mostly traveling up on this side. But with this stand, north, south, perfect. East, west, try not to hunt it on. But if I get a straight north or a straight south, we're golden. All right, let's doctor this up. Got one more cam to put out. It's still hot. Let's get her did. We're still at the spot. Now here's one I want you to look at. Now before I leave too far from the cell home, I turn on my link level. This is really easy in the menu. I can do an instructional video later, but I'm gonna leave it on link level now the whole time. So we're 99 right good. Right now, we're about as good as it gets. We're still back at the spot, the creek. Now we're gonna watch. And I will watch that link level. Now, with foliage up, it may drop a little faster. I already know the spot I typically am going. It's pretty good, but I like to keep an eye on that. Because if it starts dropping a lot faster, that means I can't go quite as far with it. But here we go. So we're still 99 good. There's a lot more deer bedding in this field. And I can access this stuff. Oh, there's a bed right there. Creek's right there. It's getting the bedding area away from the neighbors, which on the west wind, primarily the wind we get, it's hard to hunt. But with this setting up to be a killer bedding area, especially with that island of box elders right there, this is setting up to be beautiful. What's our link level? See, we're already dropping 68. But once you stop once in a while, it does catch up. 68 is still good. 25 is like still okay. Where we showed you this morning where I had those other cameras, I was on like 8 or 9 at times, 12 at the best, and it was still sending me pictures. Link level 46. Look at this beat down trail. God, tracks everywhere. On Fixed TV, if you watched it, I just released a turkey hunt from 2020. This is the bottom where that Tom came from. And he actually walked up this hill. Look at this trail. Oh man, this woods is getting better and better and better. This spot is getting crazy good. There's some XOPs. That's that log that turkey actually crossed under. The trail's right over here. There's another trail right in front of the stand. There's the XOPs. Normally, I would hang this trail camera right over here. This is a dynamite spot. I made a lot of this. My neighbor fence line is right there. I got a mox crepe tree right here. I need to update the branches on it, but I want to move it down a little bit further. Neighbors right there. Normally I'd put it right in there in that little tree, but we're gonna go further north. Link level 20. We're still good. All right, we're at the next spot. Got the camera up already. It's right there. Link level's good, but here's the spot I want to show you. So that's the neighbors. Okay, I can't hunt this spot, nor would I ever hunt this close. Cornfield right here. All bedding to the east right here. This is all bedding. That's what I'm hoping that farrow field starts stealing bedding area from this spot. Now there's a couple big trees. I came through a number of years ago and cleaned up some of these big trees along this fence line to help bring this fence line back up. I might come back through again in August, but look at the mosquitoes. Okay, but here's one big old trail. Okay, going that way. I'm hoping to capture a little bit of it. There's another big old trail. This is a fork trail. And this trail actually goes up. The skinny pinch is up this way. I've talked about that stand a lot. And there's another trail. There's a couple of trails that converge. And there's another trail that crosses and goes up. There's a couple. So I like to hug this side, especially because this is west. And right now we have a west wind. Blows everything back in this bedding area. But look, we got a hole in the fence. We got a ditch. Look at the trail, the crossing on that ditch. And then look at the trail going back to the neighbors. So some of these trees that are down are new, but they're coming up in this corner. So we're gonna build a mock scrape. You can see here some of my old cuts from cleaning up some of this stuff along this edge. Like I said, but we got a hole in the fence. There's a big trail here and another big trail here. And they're forked off. And the camera right through there, you can just barely see it. So we're gonna build a mock scrape. There's a vine right there. It's a little big, but we might be able to make it work. I'm gonna take my saw. I'm gonna cut this right about here. There we go. Cut this right about here. Secret weapon. Intruder buck. Okay, just gonna fill it up about 2 ounces worth. Take it. I'm just gonna tie this up again. Again, because this is so warm, it's probably gonna drop pretty fast. But goal is try to draw all these deer off that fucking trail into this spot. Okay, again, waist height, sternal, commands, more clear, link mode. Let's get into it, confirm, link mode, more, link location. This is camera 2. Link channel 10, that's the 10 I have my cell cam on. Connection, link level, let's check that one more time. 24, now we just went to 24, so give it sometimes you gotta give it a moment. Again, there's a lot of foliage between this and that other camera. The last thing we gotta do on the way out is we gotta check the home camera to make sure that it's picking up that remote. And we'll go over that. Hopefully in 4 hours we get an update on some deer using our cameras. Man, I can't believe this freaking trail. So awesome. Alright. Let's take an image. So we gotta go to mode. We gotta go to commands. More. Link menu. Up twice. Link mode home. Link location 1. Link info. There it is. 2 nodes. That's what you're looking for. So that means it found the camera we just got done putting out. Cell menu. We're good. Okay, now we're just gonna go back to arming. There's a countdown from 30. Lock it back up. All right, we're good. That's important though. Always come back to the cell and check that. Make sure it found that other camera. Otherwise, you're gonna have to come back out here. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Hopefully, I taught you something. Hopefully, you didn't understand. You didn't really find out where the heck I do all my hunting. But man, I'm looking forward. I'm finally getting excited for 2022 deer season. There's a big deer in here someplace. He made it through the season. We got his sheds. We got trail cam pictures of him right here. There's other up and comers. It's gonna be an exciting season. This might be my season with the recurve. I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't even have a bow ready and set up yet. So, but here's one thing I can guarantee you. The way the prices of meat are this year, I will be shooting multiple does, and hopefully we'll get some of those on camera because we're gonna stock up the freezers this year, baby. We're gonna shoot a bunch. And this property can have a bunch of does on it. between myself and the landowner. We're gonna try to get some deer on the ground this year. So that means from opening weekend all the way to the end of the season, I might be filling doe tags. So thanks again, everybody, for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I taught you something, like I said, but I gotta get out of here. I'm sweating. Check out Cuddelink. Drop the link below. Check out the product Benz. It's been huge for me today. I'm just using the bug spray portion of it, but I'll also use the permethrin during turkey season and making sure that I spot treat my clothes too. I do not want ticks on me. I do not want Lyme disease. Check those out. Subscribe to The Guided Life on all social medias. Follow, so on and so forth. Check out Wags. This is way earlier. You won't see that stuff until about Labor Day weekend, but thanks again. I'm out of here. Honk, 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 honk.